Okay, thanks everybody. I'm Caitlin. Oh boy. Okay, I'm a little nervous, so okay. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna talk about the umbrella group and the what and the why. So next slide, please. Okay, so what? So what we're hoping to do is have a meetup, networking, and collaboration space to support the formation of multiple income sharing communities in Western Washington. It's also going to be a group of people who are interested in starting an income sharing community, but whose visions of what that looks like may be a bit different. We're focusing specifically on Western Washington. We think it's a large enough region to have a solid base of people and potential multiple communities, but also small enough that we can still maintain networks and relationships and in-person relationships between communities, and that we can really share and collaborate in many ways. We want to keep it within the state boundaries. One of the reasons for that is if we're like potentially maybe sharing businesses between communities or any number of other things, or sharing research on how things work, we're just staying within the state and things like taxes and legal things, and we're just keeping that similar for ourselves. There's about 6 million people currently who live in Western Washington. And another benefit to staying in this region is that it's a very similar climate within that zone. And so when we're looking at things like skill sharing around permaculture and natural buildings, et cetera, we can really build a strong network of skills between communities and that have similar climates. Next slide, please. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about some of our intentions for the group about how we operate together. And I'm going to be looking at my notes a bit too, so forgive me if I'm not looking at the screen anymore. So the first one is we want to talk about bringing like an anti-oppression lens to how we work as a group. So we want to make sure that we're not leaving people out, and we don't want to inadvertently perpetuate systems of exclusion. So in order to do that, we want to think about how we advertise and who we reach out to, and whether or not we're accidentally leaving anyone out in the ways that we do that. We also want to think about how we operate. We want to make sure that we're creating a welcoming environment where people can show up with their whole self, where they feel a true sense of belonging, and where we bring a lens of justice to that. And I just want to add on a personal note that I'm very new to how to practice anti-oppression within group settings. And I'm really excited because I know that a lot of people here and a lot of people who participate have a lot of knowledge and skills and experience that they can bring, and we can really co-create that environment together and reflect, every once in a while on how we're doing and whether or not we're reaching our goals in that way. So I want to talk a little bit about compassionate communication, conflict resolution, and trauma-informed practices. So when we live in one of these communities, we're all learning how to be in relationship with each other in a way that mainstream culture doesn't teach us. And we would love if we can use what the group brings together with our knowledge and skills and practice around these things, to not just bring that to the communities we create, but also bring it to the environment of the umbrella group itself. We've all experienced trauma in one way or another in various degrees in this world, in the way this world is today. And we all want to be in right relationship with each other. And there are a lot of ways that we can practice this and do this successfully. And if we end up using those skills and practice those things in the umbrella group, we can bring those skills to our experience in community as well with each other. Okay, and then the last thing I want to say on this page is just that today we're really showing all of you our vision, the co-organizers' vision for what we're hoping this umbrella group can accomplish and our goals. And we have, the four of us have some ideas for what those strategies might look like to obtain those goals. And I'm really excited, and we're really excited to co-create together with all the participants in the group and bring in everybody's experience and knowledge and wisdom and ideas to how to create and accomplish that vision together, and to potentially bring in even more visions and intentions and goals than what we're bringing here today. Next slide, please. Okay, so now I want to talk about the why of the umbrella group. Why start an umbrella group? Why not just try to start one community? Okay, so our first idea is that we think we can be more successful in forming individual communities if we do it from an umbrella group rather than doing it on our own. Some of the ideas that we have for how that might end up happening is, so if I wanted to start a community, I have to find other co-founders, and that's a lot of pressure to find exactly the right people who share the same vision. And maybe I don't even have the exact vision, but with the umbrella group, the pressure is off. You don't have to have the right people or the right vision right away. You can network with lots of different people and develop the vision together. Another thing is, what if I have a co-founding group and 2 years in, half the group decides it's not the right thing for them and they leave? Well, instead of the project completely just ending right there, I would still have a network of other people who might be interested in joining my project and continuing the vision and the plan. In this group, with all these different projects, some of the projects will succeed and some won't. And then the ones that succeed would be a place where the people who were parts of the groups that didn't succeed might decide that's the right place for them to land, and they would still have another place to be able to go. Through this larger network, we can create larger structures like a lending bank, and help each other find resources and experience, like researching land use laws or people with specific skills. In terms of advertising, instead of advertising from one group, we would have a larger network of people to find members just beyond that. So if I find someone who's interested in income sharing, but they're not interested in my project, they might be interested in another person's project, or vice versa. If there's some topic that we need to learn about, such as zoning laws, then a small group of people from the umbrella group can research it and share it with the whole group, instead of having every individual community need to research every topic on their own. Okay. Next, I'd like to talk about, once the communities form, we believe that through continuing this long-term networking, we can make sure that those communities are more resilient in the long term through this umbrella group format. So the ways that could potentially work is, there are hands-on practical things that can be done, like having a bank or mutual aid between communities. If I decide that a community is no longer the right fit for me and I really need to leave, but I'm still interested in living in an income sharing community, then I would have other income sharing communities in the same region that I could potentially end up moving to. There's the opportunity for there to be businesses that could actually operate within multiple communities and to be collaborated on between the communities. Again, just as time goes on and as communities, people move out and then they need new people to move in, through continuing advertising and networking between the communities and in the larger region, there would be more opportunity for more people to be interested and become familiar with income sharing and move in when there's space that opens up in communities. Okay. And then the last thing I want to talk about for our why is part of our vision and goal for the group. So instead of only having a vision of just being able to start one community, if part of our desire is to not only start an income sharing community, but to also have a bigger impact on our region and on our world. And if we really imagine that our region could be a place where, in general, people's needs are being met in a more sustainable, equitable way, and there's more resilience within our region, then if we only start one income sharing community, that's not going to shift the dial very much. But if we instead can be a part of a group that starts multiple income sharing communities in Western Washington. And then those communities network with each other. They network with other intentional communities. They network with other organizations doing really good work in the region towards these goals. And they become hubs in their neighborhoods of connecting with their neighbors in the community and the people around them. Then we can potentially be a catalyst for shifting into a cooperative culture in our region and reaching and be a part of that change to that systemic change in our area for that wider goal. And if